look at the eval bar tracker down here in the bottom right hand side. It's looking like one of those like exercise bike workouts where it simulates you going up and down a bunch of hills, and that's like the timeline of the workout, and it shows you when you're going to hit the hills. So this is certainly one of the games of all time. Um, but there were quite a few exclamation mark moves in here, so you know this one's an absolute banger. This was a game sent to me by my 850 ELO friend, and he's playing against a player who's almost 900, and this is exciting. So we have pawn. Oh, and we also have a return of the most famous combo in all of chess. Blundering mate into blundering mate. That is an OP true combo, and this is the new meta. And Magnus and Hikaru, they're just behind on this meta. Let's just check the new meta out. So first of all, the new French defense meta is to go bishop to e2, which I couldn't tell you what this move does, right? I have no idea what this line is. But that just goes to show you that I'm even behind the times as an old curmudgeon, not keeping up with the new meta that the 900s are cooking up. So we have an advanced French. The queen comes out. All right, it's 900. Got to get the queen out on move 5. Okay, knight c6 attacking the queen. Good move. And now bishop to b5, pinning the knight. This gives black a bit of an advantage because it wastes a tempo. And now black unpins. We have an exclamation mark move, probably like the least exclamation mark move of all exclamation mark moves in this game. Just taking a knight that you should have taken. So you got an exclamation mark for that. Okay. Now the queen is pretty vulnerable, which makes white's position a little less good. And we have knight c3. Now, before we move on with this mistake here, let me just tell you that white is really loyal to the second rank, okay? Because white put bishop e2 earlier, and now white develops the knight to e2, even though you could have just developed the knight to f3 and then defend this pawn because it's really easy to scare the queen off the square. But white is really loyal to the second rank. This is the hyper modern, hyper postmodern chess that we're seeing. Knight to c3, and the computer does not like that move because black has knight to f5, scaring the queen away. And again, white is just really loyal to putting pieces on the second rank. This blocks the bishop in, but that's okay. The bishop's just going to be like crouching tiger, hidden dragon back here, and then just come out at the appropriate time. So now we have queen to c7 going after the pawn. The computer likes d4 kicking away this knight. And then the knight doesn't have very many good squares because it can't go here, here, or here. So the knight would have to just be literally undeveloped back to here. Anyway, now queen defends the pawn. All right. Rook to d8, getting ready to push the pawn. To push the pawn to d4, and then knight to d4, preventing the pawn push by just putting the knight there. We have a trade, and then we have pawn to b6, getting ready for the bishop to go out here and put some pressure on white. White castles, and then there goes the bishop as planned. Queen to f4, and d4. Now, the computer liked f6, but Ben Feingold said never play f6, so it's too bad, computer. So, pawn to d4, knight attacks the bishop, castles, and then boom, pawn to f3. Ben Feingold says never play f6 or f3, and then the computer was like, hey, black should play f6, and then the white was like, okay, if it was a good move for black, it's probably a good move for me. However, that's not how it works, and now black has this discovery, which it's not the best discovery in the world, but it is a thing. Like, I don't know why you would willingly open up your king to a discovery, but this just shows you the new meta, the new 900 meta. Just disregard king's safety. It's way overrated. Now, black responds with their own pawn right there. Oh no. The computer liked just taking the knight, and because the knight is one of the pieces that can block down here, so it's just removing a defender. But black was like, okay, you know what? Removing the f pawn. Ben Feingold said never play f3 or f6, and you did it. Well, I'll do it too. Boom. And now This gives black a limited advantage if they play knight takes on c5 because there's no more discoveries. Pawn takes, queen moves out of the way to g4, and that's a free pawn. And we have another exclamation mark move. It's an exclamation mark move because it's the only good move in this situation. Obviously, taking free pawns is a good move. I have no idea how to embellish it anymore. Bishop to f4 and queen to e2. This hangs a pawn with check, and well, it doesn't, but it could once this rook comes here, and then it will hang this pawn with check, and you can pick up the bishop. But the rook doesn't go there. We have bishop to h6, and of course, if you saw my last video, you know that this is just the ultimate 900 elo move, right? Going for the queen bishop attack here on this pawn, just monkeying for a checkmate for no reason, and we have rook to d7 defending, and now rook a to e1, and queen captures on c2. The reason this is so dangerous is because white finds the move, queen to e6 check, and this is another exclamation mark move because you see the free pawn, which wins the bishop. I mean, what other moves are better than that? Rook blocks, and the bishop moves out of harm's way. The computer liked taking this bishop way more, and I agree with that because when you take here, it opens up the king, and it's a little easier to attack. So, bishop moves out of the way. Now this bishop moves out of the way and attacks the rook, and white decides to go full Gotham chess danger levels here. Oh, you're attacking my rook? Well, I'm going to attack your rook. However, this does not work out. But, oh no, and the reason it doesn't work out is not punished by black, because as you see, the reason that if you take my rook, I take your rook doesn't work is because it's mate in one. Queen to g2 is checkmate. You cannot take that bishop, or you cannot take that rook with your bishop. So that is just a free exchange win for black, but they do not punish it. They take with the wrong piece. They take with the wrong piece. Clearly, black saw that this pawn was attacked by both the bishop and the queen. And this is just a mating pattern you should know. A protected queen against a king on the edge of the board is checkmate 100 times out of 100. I mean, he took with the bishop! He took with the bishop! Alright. This game just gave me this game's giving me a brain aneurysm. Okay, queen to e8. Now, you can take here on f3 with your bishop and set up the checkmate again. But rook captures on f8 is the best move because you don't have enough time to set up that checkmate. It was just a bait, right? Because this is discovery is damn near checkmate. Well, you go here, and then after you block, then you take the check, then you take with checkmate. So white doesn't have time, has to go rook takes f8. Queen goes here, and now white can repeat moves, or black can repeat moves with checking, but not too late. Now you can play some. Now if white plays queen to e8, it's still kind of good because you can actually like queen e8, right? This, it doesn't like this because it has, because you just drop the rook back. That's how you defend it. Okay. Okay, but instead of that, we have queen to d6 attacking the rook. And the rook goes to c8. And now we have queen d7. And black decides to set up their mate in one with bishop to h3. However, this blunders mate in two. Because rook e8 check, sacrificing the rook for checkmate. If you wanted to be a Giga Chad, you could just sacrifice the queen. In fact, that's a brilliant move. That is an excellent. White left an exclamation mark on the table with the single exclamation mark move versus the brilliant move. You have to go for those Giga Chad moves. I mean, that's unacceptable. not sacrificing your queen. All right, well, this this game's gone on long enough, so I hope to see you guys in the next video.